Prince William did something very big and very quiet last week. He took control of things inside Buckingham Palace. People are calling it a silent coup. A coup is when someone takes over power, but William did it without making a loud noise. Why did he do this? It all started because someone made his youngest son cry. His son is Prince Louis. It was not just a small cry. It was not a scraped knee or a tiny sniffle. It was a very big, very sad cry. Someone said very mean things to him. These things were meant to hurt the little boy's feelings on purpose. The people who work at the palace saw it happen. They said the words were stunningly vicious. That means the words were very, very cruel. They said the words were deliberately destructive. This means the person wanted to break the little boy's heart. It happened at a place called Balmoral, which is a big, beautiful house in the mountains of Scotland. Usually, it is a quiet and happy place. But last week, it became a place of sadness for a little boy. William saw his son hurting, and he decided that things had to change right away. He was not going to let anyone treat his family like that anymore. He was ready to be a protector and a leader at the same time. What makes this even more shocking is who said those mean things. It was not a stranger who snuck onto the grass. It was not a guest that no one knew. The person who said the mean words was part of the family. She is a granddaughter of Queen Camilla. This girl went up to young Prince Louis. The words she said were very sharp. They were like a tool meant to find the most painful spots. She did not just say Louis was a bad boy. She went much further than that. She said mean things about his mother, Princess Catherine, and then she said something even worse and more scary. She started talking about his grandmother, Princess Diana. Princess Diana had a very sad and hard life. Louis is just a little boy, so he probably did not understand every single word about history or titles, but he is smart enough to know when someone is being very hateful. He could feel the anger and the mean spirit in her voice. He knew he was being attacked with words. It made him feel very small and very scared in a place where he should have felt safe. When the girl finished talking, Prince Louis could not hold it in anymore. He started to cry very hard. His whole body was shaking because he was so upset. He ran as fast as he could to find his mother, Catherine. He was sobbing and looking for a hug. The air in the Scottish Highlands is usually very quiet and peaceful. But that day, the quiet was broken by the sound of a child who was truly hurting. This is where the story gets really interesting. The people who work at the palace were watching. They were very surprised, but not just because Louis was crying. They were shocked because of Catherine's face. Usually, Catherine is very kind and smiling, but she did not scream. She did not yell at the girl or run around making a scene. Instead, her face became very cold and very still. She had so much control over her feelings that it was a little bit scary. One person said it felt like the air around her became freezing cold. It was like she was holding back a huge amount of anger, but she kept it all inside where no one could see it. This showed everyone that she was not just sad. She was making a very serious plan. Catherine did not say anything mean back right then. She stayed calm in front of everyone, but she did not let it go. Later, she went to a private room to talk to her husband, Prince William. This was not a normal talk about kids or chores. This was a very serious and very intense meeting. People who know what happens inside the palace say this talk changed everything. It changed who has the power in the royal family. Catherine was very smart about how she talked to William. She did not just tell him she was mad. She told him something that would make him listen. She brought up his mother, Princess Diana. She looked at him with very steady eyes. She told him that the royal family failed to protect Diana. She said Diana was hurt by the media, but also by the people inside the palace who did not care enough. Catherine told William that she would never let that happen to their children. She said she would protect George, Charlotte, and Louis from any kind of mean games or mental stress. She told him she would do whatever it takes to keep them safe. This talk was like a key that opened up a lot of old feelings for William. He has spent his whole life trying to hide the sad memories of his parents' marriage. He remembers the fights and the whispers. He remembers how much he missed his mother after she died. Those memories are a big part of who he is. When Catherine talked about his biggest fear, William realized she was right. He saw that the mean comment to his son was part of a bigger problem. He felt like his children were being treated like chess pieces in a family fight. He remembered the promise he made to himself when he was a boy. He promised that when he grew up, he would do things differently. He would be a better protector. For a long time, the royal family followed a rule that said, never complain, never explain. That means they usually stay quiet even when people are mean. But William decided that staying quiet was now a bad idea. He felt that if he did nothing, he was letting the bad things happen. He knew he had to act now. The very next morning, the feeling at Kensington Palace was different. It was not a place of fear, but it was very serious. Everyone was working with a purpose. William called a meeting with his most important helpers. He closed the doors and made sure no one else could hear. Some people say he even took away people's phones so no one could tell secrets. This was not a meeting to write a nice letter. This was a meeting to get ready for a battle inside the family. William brought in lawyers and experts who know all about the rules of the monarchy. When he walked into the room, he did not look like a dad who was just sad. He looked like a general or a commander. He had a big pile of papers with a plan. His plan was very tough. He wanted to remove Queen Camilla's family from all the official parts of royal life. He wanted them gone from the big parties and the fancy dinners. He wanted them off the balcony where the family stands to wave at people. He wanted to erase their connection to the crown completely. The people who work at the palace gave this plan a special name. They called it the Eraser Mandate. That name sounds very serious because it is. To erase something means to make it go away completely. William wanted to accurately and quickly remove these people from public view. He did not yell when he gave the orders. He was very calm and very quiet. His voice was steady. Some workers said this was even scarier than if he had been screaming. Hot anger can go away, but this kind of cold calm lasts forever. It felt like a permanent change. The staff realized that William was not just doing this for one day. He was changing the rules for the future. He was showing everyone that he is the person who will one day be the king. He was making a long-term plan to keep his family safe and his court clean. He was drawing a line in the sand. He was saying that some people are in the inner circle and some people are now on the outside. One of the most shocking parts of this story is that William did not ask his father for permission. King Charles is the king, but William did not go to him to say, please. He did not ask for a meeting to talk about it. He just started the plan right away. He used his own workers to make the changes happen before the king even knew. Later, he sent a very formal letter to his father. The letter was very polite and used all the right royal words, but it was not a letter asking for advice. It was a letter saying, this is what I have already done. It was a declaration. It meant that the choice was already made and it could not be changed. There was no way to argue about it or talk William out of it. The door was locked. This put King Charles in a very hard spot. He was stuck between his wife, Camilla, and his son, William. It was a very tricky situation for a king who is already dealing with a lot of stress. When Queen Camilla found out about the Eraser Mandate, she was very angry. She thought William was being too bossy. She thought he was challenging the king's power. She wanted Charles to stop William and say no. She wanted to keep the old ways where her family was included. There were many loud and heated talks behind the palace walls during this time. But King Charles did not stop his son. He did not say no. He just let it happen. People think Charles did this for a few reasons. He is older now and has been sick lately. He is very tired from all the family drama with Prince Harry and Prince Andrew. But mostly, he is a smart man. He knows that the people of the country love William and Catherine. They are the future of the monarchy. They represent a new start. Charles realized that the power was moving away from him and toward his son. He chose not to fight a battle that he knew he would lose. By staying quiet, he was telling William that he could take charge. To understand why this is such a big deal, you have to know about the history of the family. For many years, the palace tried very hard to make everyone like Queen Camilla. It was a very long and difficult project. At first, people were not sure about her, but slowly they started to accept her. Part of the plan was to bring her children and grandchildren into the royal family. They wanted to show a blended family that looked modern and happy. They started putting Camilla's family in pictures and at big events. To the people watching on TV, it looked like everyone was getting along great. But inside the palace, some people were worried. They knew that the royal family is based on blood. This means only the people born into the family are truly royal. A queen's family from before does not have a legal right to be there. The incident with Prince Louis and the mean comments was like a bomb going off. It showed that the blended family idea was not working as well as it looked. When William issued the Eraser Mandate, he was ending that experiment. He was saying that the time for a big, blended family was over. He was making the circle smaller and stronger. Inside the palace, things changed almost instantly. Two different groups formed. One group was for the king and queen at Buckingham Palace. The other group was for William and Catherine at Kensington Palace. The workers who pay attention to power started to move toward William. They could see that he was the one making the big moves now. It became very clear that the Parker Bowles era was coming to an end. William's vision for the future is a slimmed-down monarchy. That means it will be a smaller group of people who are very focused on their jobs. It will be more private and more guarded. It will be centered on the people who are actually in line for the throne. Charles liked the idea of a big family, but William decided that a small, safe family was much better for everyone. People who have known William for a long time say this is who he really is. In public, he and Catherine look very friendly and relatable. They talk about mental health and how much they love being parents. They go to events and smile for the cameras. They have worked very hard to make people trust them, but behind the scenes, William is very different. He is firm and very serious. He does not play games. He is very protective of his wife and kids. If someone is mean to them, he does not forget it easily. He does not forgive people who try to hurt his family. When there is a big problem, he stops being the nice guy and starts being a strong leader. The incident at Balmoral was the moment when his dad's side and his future king's side came together. He showed everyone exactly what kind of king he will be. He will be a king who puts his family first. He will be a king who is not afraid to make hard choices to keep his house safe. When the news of what William did started to leak out, the public was very happy. People on social media were cheering for him. They saw pictures of his mother, Diana, trying to hide him from the cameras when he was little. They saw a connection between Diana and William. They felt that William was being a hero by protecting his own kids. It was a very emotional story. It was not just about royal rules. It was about a dad who loves his son. People liked seeing a son who learned from the past. They liked that he was breaking the cycle of sadness and trauma. Because so many people supported him, William's power grew even more. No one tried to stop his mandate because they knew the public was on his side. His orders stayed exactly as he wrote them. No one changed a single word. He sent a message to the whole world without even giving a speech. He showed his strength through his actions. Now a new chapter for the royal family has started. This chapter is being written by William's strong will. He has shown that the feelings of his children are more important than anything else. Their happiness is more important than old traditions or family politics. He will not let the psychological warfare of the past touch his kids. He did all of this with a very calm and steady hand. It is a preview of a future where the king is a protector first. The monarchy will still have its fancy hats and big parades, but the heart of it will be a father's love. William has redrawn the map of the palace. He has made it clear who belongs and who does not. He has taken the lessons of his mother's life and used them to make a better world for his children. This silent coup was not about taking a crown. It was about taking control of his family's safety. The future of the throne is now in his hands, and he is holding it very tightly to keep it safe from harm. He is ready for the future, and he is making sure his kids are ready too. This is the new way of the Windsors, and it is here to stay. William has proven that a father's quiet strength can change the world more than a loud shout ever could. He is building a wall of protection around his family that no one will be able to break down. The eraser mandate was just the beginning of a very new and very different kind of royal story. It is a story about a man who finally found the power to say no to the things that hurt him when he was a boy. He is now the man in charge, and he is using that power for good. He is making sure that the legacy of Princess Diana lives on through the safety and happiness of George, Charlotte, and little Louis. This is the promise he kept, and it is the foundation of his future reign as king. The silence in the palace is no longer a silence of sadness, but a silence of strength and peace. William has won, and his family is safe.